Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk more about fibromyalgia for me. What are my triggers and kind of like the things I guess that I stay away from to prevent the triggers, things that I have noticed. Okay, first and foremost, I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose, I cannot prescribe, I cannot do any of that stuff. Okay, this is just me, a wife and a mother, explaining to you guys what I go through, what I struggle with, and things that I notice have worked or have not worked. Just giving information, sharing information with you guys. Hopefully it can help one person. I always say that if I can at least help one person, then I did my job. I helped somebody, because it sucks to have this. Fibromyalgia sucks. And the fact that there's not a lot of research and there's not a lot of doctors that understand it, and there's just not a lot of understanding, just sucks, right? So I feel like together as a fibromyalgia community, or fibro warrior as I say, we need to come together and help each other out and support each other and send those gentle hugs over the internet, because sometimes that is what is needed. This is a frustrating thing to deal with, because really it's hard to get answers. It's hard to get any kind of understanding or a grip on anything, because nobody really understands fibro. So for me, right, because everybody's different. Now, what you may go through as far as your flare-ups can be completely different from me. Now, what triggers your flare-ups can be completely different from me, or it might be the same. You never know. This is like a mystery illness. It's so annoying. Now, for me, number one, I notice if I eat really bad stuff, or yeah, I guess that would be it. If I eat bad stuff and I end up backed up, you know what I mean? I know, TMI, I know. But I end up backed up, I start to feel the pain accumulate and get worse. And then I'll start to feel extremely tired, like out of the blue. Like I can be at work perfectly fine. Excuse me. I can be at work perfectly fine, and then I can feel it. I start to go down out of the blue. Now I'm perfectly fine. I drink my mushroom latte coffee in the morning. I don't really eat bad food. And I just start to feel myself, you know, slowly crashing. And then I already know, like, oh, great. Either I come home and I pass out on the couch for like 3 hours, and then the next day I'll have a flare up, or I'm okay, but I'm still slowly crashing. And then the next day, the flare up is just like full blown. Like the pain is just crazy. It feels like I'm one big swollen ball of pain. The exhaustion is the worst. You just feel completely like wiped out of energy, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta wait it off. Rest, drink a lot of fluids, take your vitamins, take your probiotics and prebiotics. If you do, if you don't, I highly recommend it. And you just kind of gotta wait it out. So that is my number one. Number one is food. I feel like with all the research and with all my reading and my, watching videos of doctors that actually study fibro, and just through my experiences, I feel like my fibro is 1,000,000%, I know that's not a thing, 100% gut related. And that is like my number one trigger. And I notice that if I'm backed up, I'll usually end up with a flare up. And for me, with that number one reason why I get flare ups, what I try to do, of course, it's too late at that point, right? Because I'm already messed up internally and my body just wants to get rid of it. And with all the inflammation inside, it causes all the junky symptoms. So what I do, or what I did recently too, is I felt it coming on. I got some essential oil. I took some lavender, since it is calming and relaxing, and I put it on my tummy. And then I did this constipation like massage on myself. And what you do is, I'm not sure if you guys can see, but don't do it up here. You do it on your tummy area. Like start it from around where your hip bone is, and I'll take my knuckles, like this part, and I'll face it this way, and I'll go up this way, like right where my rib cage is, and then down like a U shape. Okay, and you're gonna do that 10 to 20 times. It's supposed to help massage and move the food where they need to go, because for some of us that have like the gut issues, I would say most of us, it honestly helps. And usually I'll use the bathroom within that day or the next day, and I'll empty myself out, which is great because that's what my body wanted. It's like all the inflammation, my body's like getting irritated and inflamed from all of the food that's in my body that it wants to get rid of. So number one is eating the bad stuff, gut related, 1,000,000%, and trying to get your body to move the food out. That is my number one priority. Sometimes I don't get it in time and I'm already crashing and it's too late. Then I gotta deal with the flare up, miss work, all of that good stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, number two, too much heat and too much cold. Yeah, I know. It's so annoying. It's like if it's too hot or I'm in, excuse me, if it's too much heat that I'm taking in or too much cold, I don't know what it is. Like I already have body temperature regulation issues, but when I have too much cold or too much hot and I don't keep myself that perfect balance, which is really hard to get, then I end up with the flare up. And really the only thing I can do about that is try to, so like for instance at work, I have a heater. It's about I don't know, 1.5 feet tall by a foot, pretty good size. I keep that baby on all day. Even though there's heat in our building, my body temperature calls for me to be a little warmer, right? And I'll put it at the perfect distance and I'll turn it a certain way. And then if I get too hot, I'll turn it away. But I'm constantly trying to keep my body temperature comfortable. Because if it's too hot, I start to swell up and then I'll eventually get a flare up. Or if it's too cold, then I end up putting my body in some kind of shock. It's really weird. And then I end up with the flare up too. So number two for me is too much hot, too much cold. It can be either one. Way too much hot, way too much cold, or both. I don't know what it does. It kind of like shocks my body and it's weird. Number three. So I notice for me, not so much a flare, but it does trigger my fibro pain and makes the pain immensely worse. And I feel like this one is something that most of us struggle with. I don't want to make any generalized statements, but I feel like from what I read, it's kind of the consensus that when it comes to stress, that brings on more pain. And I didn't notice if it brought on an actual flare-up, like I said, but I feel like it makes the pain a lot worse. It just makes living a lot harder, a lot worse to do things because the pain is just, I don't know what it is, but stress will automatically, my pain will show up or get worse and worse and worse and worse. And until I can calm myself down, calm down my body, my brain, my spirit, and tell myself like, okay, breathe, or do some yoga or take a break or do breathing exercises. Whatever I gotta do to calm myself down will help the pain kind of go down. But that's a tricky one too, right? Trying to control your stress level is tricky because it can be something that you're not in control of at all. Like you getting a call from your kid's school because he's not having a good day and you gotta, what I do is I learn to just tell myself, what can you do about it? Literally nothing. You cannot control other people. Sometimes you barely can control your body. So just learn to woosah, take some breaths, calm down, meditate, do whatever you need to get the stress level down, because that for plenty of my fibro peeps that I talk to, they say stress is probably the number one trigger for them. So for me, number 3 is stress. Number 4, if I overdo it. And maybe I should have made that number 3 because I feel like that one is a lot more, like there's a fine line. There's no thick line in the sand saying, hey, if you cross this line, like you never know. Everybody's body is different, right? So like if I do walking, I'm okay. If I do weightlifting, even if it's the bare minimum, like 5 pounds, 2 pounds, and I do too much reps, oh man, my muscles are like, what did you do? It's crazy. It's so crazy. And even my kids are like, Mom, it was only like 2 pounds or 5 pounds. And I'm like, look, my body is not the same as yours. It doesn't recover the same. It doesn't treat physical activity the same. So you need to calm down, relax, and understand that I ain't faking, I ain't lying. It's ridiculous. If I could, I guess at this point, because I can't work out, I want to do it even more, because you know how they say, right? Whatever you don't have, you want, or you can't do, you want to do. It's so crazy. Like, I hate working out. I hate going to the gym. I do not find joy in that. So I find joy in yoga, but I don't find joy in like exercising and working out. And I just lack motivation. I force myself to go, but it's not something I enjoy. I have a lot of friends that are like, oh my God, I love it. More power to you, girl. Seriously, I wish I had that. I don't. But anyway, I feel like overdoing it, even if it's yard work or it's just pretty much overexerting yourself physically, I noticed that'll cause a flare-up. And I had a really bad one when we still were living in Hawaii. I was just pulling weeds, but the thing is, I was in the sun. So I was sitting on a little stool, pulling weeds. I had a tool too, pulling weeds, but I probably pulled weeds for about an hour or more. I was in direct sunlight, I had sunblock on, and I felt fine. And I kept hydrated, I kept drinking water and all that good stuff. And then I came in the house, took a shower, sorry, it's my dog, again, Bane. But I came in the house, washed up, did my thing. I passed out probably for, my husband said it was 6 hours, but I was like, no way, that's way too long. But it felt more like 3 or 4, and I just passed out. Now, let me preface, or let me just add, because it's the end of this part. I'm a light sleeper. Everything wakes me up. My husband will tease that a feather can fall and it wakes you up. So I passed out. Like, I don't remember what was going on. I don't remember what noise was happening. All of that was irrelevant. I passed out for hours and then I woke up. And even he noticed, he was like, babe, you slept for really, really long. I said, I think I overdone it. So for me, I want to say it's number 3 and number 4, because it doesn't really cause flare-ups for me. Let's flip-flop it. And let me say number 3 is overdoing it. So there it is, you guys. That is my top 4 triggers for having a flare-up or my symptoms getting worse. That is, to me, the top 4 that I notice. So now, we have to be aware. You have to listen to your body, is pretty much what I'm getting at. Listen to your body, know when you're doing too much, know when what you did the day before or up and coming to your flare-up. Take notes, write it down in a book, do whatever you have to do. Put it in your phone, put it in the note area, whatever you have to do. Take notes of the day before or the day of when your trigger starts. That way you'll know what causes your trigger and what to stay away from, what to not do, right? That's pretty much what I did. I kind of told myself, I kept mental notes, and then I also wrote it down, because ADHD brain, I have to write stuff down. So I'll write it down to make sure I don't forget. Okay, no overexerting myself. Try to eat good food, like try to have at least a salad a day or some kind of big amount of vegetables, even if it's just like your whole lunch. Make sure you get vegetables, as far as like fresh vegetables, fresh greens, any kind of fresh salad. Make sure I get that at least once a day. Don't overdo it. Try to stay away from really hot and really cold. And just try to keep your stress levels down. And that is my daily reminders. It's like, no girl, we're not doing that. We can't do that. Let me also add by saying, when we do go to theme parks, I will do a good amount of walking, because walking doesn't seem to trigger my flare-ups, but we will rent a cart, like one of those scooters, and my husband and I will take turns using the scooter, because I don't usually make it to the end of the day in the theme park, and I notice if I don't have a scooter, oh man, the next day is really bad. I haven't gotten a flare-up yet by going to a theme park. I dread the day, but we do rent a scooter where I don't have to carry a backpack, because I noticed too with carrying a backpack, that hurts my fibro, like pain in my back. That makes it really sore. And then if my bag is heavy, like for instance yesterday, I took my computer home so I could telework. And my computer it's just a laptop with 2 cords. And then of course my purse and some other you guys know, stuff in my bag. My back was killing me. So backpacks will irritate the crap out of the pain in my back. So when I go to theme parks, I don't like to carry a backpack, and I don't want anybody else to be carrying it all day either, because we take a lot of bottles of water, like at least 10 to 15 bottles of water. I need water. We love water in this house. So when we rent the cart, I'll fill up the whole front of the cart with water, some in the backpack, some snacks in the backpack. And that is super duper helpful if you're going to a theme park. Like I said, walking doesn't do much. I'm okay when I walk, but it's the long periods of standing and the long periods of just being in the park, right? Because I'm not sitting down, I'm not relaxing, I'm not on my couch. So if you're going to a theme park, I highly recommend you get a scooter. It's only anywhere from $30 and up a day. Some companies will even deliver it to your hotel, or you can rent it from the hotel, you can rent it in the theme park. It's up to you, but I highly recommend it when it comes to fibro is get a scooter. Then you can load it up and put all of your stuff, and you don't have to carry anything. You just drive it around and then plug it in if you need to plug it in, and just drive it around back to your hotel. It's so lovely. Okay, y'all, I think now that just about wraps it up as far as another fibro video goes. Triggers and things that'll make my pain worse. I hope that all of you out there can find relief somehow, whether it be physically, mentally, whatever it may be, because having fibro is no joke. We struggle with symptoms every single day and pain every single day. So I hope that you have I cannot say stress-free, because come on, it's life. We all stress. I want to say I wish all of you to have a low stress day every day. I hope that you can find your triggers and try to at least avoid it. My biggest hope is that you eliminate it, but avoid it, because it is life and we got to deal with these things all the time. And I hope you guys get answers. I really do, because not having answers when it comes to fibro just sucks. And their answer is, oh, maybe you got fibro. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day and the rest of your week. It is the weekend for us, so hoping to have an amazing weekend. It is Easter weekend, so we're gonna go do something nice as a family. I hope that you guys have an amazing Easter if you celebrate Easter. If not, I hope you have an amazing Sunday. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe, you guys, because it really does help our channel grow. It really does. Honestly, I cannot do any of this without any followers. So the fact that we have followers and we're constantly gaining followers means the world to us. So please like, please follow, please share, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ahui ho.